Welcome to the Pigskin Party Podcast, the only podcast that combines real NFL analysis with a splash of pop culture and a dash of the random. Let's get this Pigskin Party started with your hosts, Brian McFadden, Will Southard, and Tommy Yu.
Welcome back to the PPP presented by DraftKings. It's time for the flavor of the week. My name is Brian. Please, if you're listening and watching for the first time, make sure to rate us, review us, subscribe, and tell a friend so we can grow this Pigskin Party. Joining me back again from the main episode, we got the full crew here this week. Will Southard and Tommy Yu. Tommy, how you feeling? Are you hyped? We got the whole crew here. We just did an over hour and a half. We did live, and we succeeded. Where's your heads at right now?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. I feel like I realize how sometimes when we track through all that football, a palate cleanser is most definitely needed, and this is a conversation I could obviously take part of. So I'm actually looking forward to it because I would like to hear your guys' input. But overall, looking forward to the show.
Will looks like he's doing an actual palate cleanser, stuffing his face with some sort of food. Is that dinner? Is that snack?
It's my diet Snapple lemon iced tea.
You're eating. You're chewing something. I know you're not. I hope you're not chewing on a Snapple iced tea because then there's something wrong with your tea.
My tea,
your
Brian,
stee?
the fact under my tea says a compass needle does not point directly north.
Where does it point? I don't understand. I thought a compass pointed north. Mind blown.
It says directly. That's probably the key
So
word.
it's off kilter by
Probably
a
the key
smidge.
word.
Well,
By a smidge.
like I said, Will's already cleansing his palate with a tasty Snapple beverage as well as some unidentified food. Tommy is clearly yearning to cleanse his own. I am as well. Quick reminder of our new format. So for the flavor of the week going forward, we're dropping this hopefully on Thursday morning. Last week we were a little late on it, but we are now going to be making our week picks. So in this case, week 9, previewing each game and making our picks in the flavor of the week. And then we'll still have our palate cleanser. So let's go ahead and jump right into that because over an hour and a half of football, I think we need a short break. And I could use, I got a little bit of a sweet tooth. And for that, our palate cleanser this week is Halloween themed. We did horror movies last week. We're going to talk about Halloween candy. And normally we do our palate cleanser about something pop culture and movies, TV shows, whatever. And we established very early on that Tommy doesn't watch those. But I figured candy. Yeah, everybody likes candy. Tommy just informed me right before we started recording that is not necessarily the case. Tommy, what did you tell me right before we started recording our Flavor of the Week episode?
You know, I don't have a sweet tooth whatsoever. I think a little bit of that has to do with my culture. A lot of Koreans obviously do like candy here and there, but not to the point that I guess Westerners like. So I'm not like that big of a fan of like chocolate or gummies and all that kind of stuff. Every once in a while, candy's pretty good. So when you said what is like the best Halloween candy, I was like, oh, crud. I barely went trick-or-treating as it is. So I was like, man, I got to start Googling some candies because I can't misrepresent some of the people who are like, you know what, that Tommy guy, although he never knows what's going on, I kind of like him. I can't tarnish the few fans I might have garnered.
Yeah, that was the surprise.
That's a really long way to say Reese's peanut butter cups.
No, but so the topic is favorite Halloween candies, and Tommy says, "Oh, I got to Google some candies." I'm like, "What do you mean you have to?" He's like, "I don't really eat candy." How do you not eat candy? Everybody, at least you may not like everything, but you've got your particular favorites.
Are Reese's peanut butter cups a candy?
Of course, it's candy.
Are they
What else?
candy?
What else would that be?
It's not.
I don't
it's
know,
not
dude.
a vegetable or a fruit. Like what would you classify? What else would it
Salad.
be?
I mean, like candy to me is like
You think of like
hard,
a bar?
sugary.
Oh, not even like a candy bar?
That's
No,
a very
like
limited.
Like a Jolly Rancher.
That's a very limited
candy,
idea of
or
what
like
candy is.
A lollipop is like a candy.
It is, but also chocolate, candy bars, peanut butter cups. It's all candy.
I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess so. Peanut butter cups is the only
Tommy's
right
throwing
answer
me
to
off
the
with
best candy,
the fact that he doesn't eat candy at all. Will has a weird definition of what candy actually is. This palate cleanser is not going how I hoped. So you know what? I'm going to kick it off. I'm going to kick it off.
It's a really long way to say Reese's peanut butter cups.
Well, so my favorite candy is Reese's Pieces. So it's kind of in the same realm. But
It's like the crappier version of
a
M&M's.
better version of M&M's. It's so much better. You just told me.
Anthony, boing sound if Reese's Pieces are better than M&M's, shotgun if M&M's are better.
Okay, so Anthony's the definitive. If Anthony says it must be true. Guy picked Lions as his lifelong team.
He has the sound effects. Of course, he's the judge, jury, and executioner.
So you just said that Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Reese's Pieces are essentially little tiny Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
No.
In a candy shell.
No. Listen, which one of us is fat? I have more valid opinions about
I have been
candy
bigger
than you
in
do,
my
Brian.
life than I am now. You knew me when I was a little bit bigger, somewhat bigger.
Yeah. That doesn't mean you have a valid opinion
It
about
does.
candy.
I love
anymore.
chocolate. I have a sweet tooth. No? All right, whatever. Reese's
Being
Pieces.
kept.
Reese's Pieces.
Oh, you didn't have to go there. I'm not saying your strawberry bonbons suck. I don't even, I don't think I've ever had a strawberry bonbon.
Wait, Will.
Because
So
it's
if you're like looking for a snack, and or actually not even looking for a snack, you're just kind of like walking by, and then you just see Reese's Pieces. Would you just ignore it, or would you eat it?
Are there other
No,
available?
it's
just
just
Reese's
that.
Pieces.
It's just sitting there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Of course I would eat
no.
it. What are you talking about?
We're on
It's
the
candy.
same page then. Because I would do the same exact thing.
But I'm not sure that proves any sort of point whatsoever, other than I have no willpower. I will also eat a peanut butter cookie, which are arguably the most disgusting cookies in the history of cookies, and I'll eat those if they're around. Or what are the pumpkin cookies? Like the pumpkin
Not sure.
Ooh,
spice
that's what we
cookies?
should do. We should
Gross.
pick our favorite and then our least favorite. That'd be kind of fun.
Okay, fair enough.
Pumpkin spice is so overrated, bro. That is just straight white girl food.
Race.
Hold on,
Once
all right,
again,
so let me
Race
throw in-
finds its way onto our show.
Let me throw in my favorite. My favorite, I like a good York peppermint patty.
Oh, nice.
I don't mean that ironic. Like, throw that in the freezer.
Wait, what does that
and,
look
like,
for? Yorks are great. Why did you?
I
give
think
them
they're
up?
really refreshing.
I love
think
York
like
peppermint
it's not
patties.
overly chocolatey. It's like that perfect dark chocolate. Like I said, I throw it in the freezer, and every once in a while I go in there and I like clean out my freezer. I'm like, oh, yo, I have a York peppermint patty in here. This is dope, and I get pretty happy about it. But I honestly think they're kind of underrated, so I want to give them a little bit of a spotlight.
Can we at least all collectively agree that things put in the freezer better than things not in the freezer? Candy
wise. What else do you put in the freezer?
Yeah, I can't really think of that.
Every single piece of edible
like
candy
Swedish
ever.
fish. I
Reese's
love
peanut butter
Swedish
cups,
fish.
you
I
stick
ain't
them in the
putting them in the
freezer?
freezer.
I mean, bro, cake, cupcakes, it doesn't matter. Like pieces of peanut butter cups.
Those aren't meant to be
peppermint
frozen.
all of it goes
That's
in the freezer, bro.
I've never heard of people freezing
Oh yeah, they
that
are.
stuff. I've heard of people freezing their wedding
just
cake
way better.
to eat a year later or whatever, but I've never heard of, we got a bunch of candy for Halloween. Okay, well, honey, put it in the freezer first. Like, what?
Yeah, bro, frozen M&Ms. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, it's just better. It's objectively better. Anthony,
He needs
can't
it.
think
Needs
of-
it, but
lion sound if freezer candy is better. Sad trumpet if it's not.
Freezer candy? Really? Okay, so
See?
Will and Anthony
2 for
are
2.
aligned. Fine. Tommy, let's go to you. Sorry, you were already saying, what's your least favorite? You said peppermint patties. I'm going to agree with you there. I love York peppermint patties. What's your least favorite candy?
I'm not trying to be, and I don't actually think this is that polarizing because I've actually met a lot of people that align with me. I think the most overrated candy and candy I actually will. If I saw this on a counter, I could just walk right by it and I'd rather have nothing than eat this. And it's just the plain old Hershey's bar. I'm not a big fan of Hershey's chocolate. To me, it just doesn't taste very good. I'd rather eat nothing at all than eat Hershey's bar. Like when people eat s'mores, I'm just like, let me just roast a marshmallow because I don't like Hershey's chocolate. So I don't know if it's I don't know if that's just me. To me, it just tastes really bad. But yeah, that's my pick. I prefer not to eat it at all.
Okay, interesting. So I will go away from the Reese's Pieces because you know what? At Halloween, I don't think anybody ever gave me Reese's Pieces. That was more like you go to a movie and they sell them Reese's Pieces there, so it was more like a delicacy. So just anything chocolate. Whenever I go, I would sort through and I would eat all the chocolate bars. Give me Snickers, M&Ms, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. York Peppermint Patties wasn't something that was really given away for Halloween, but if it was, I would have happily eaten it. Least favorite, I don't like hard candies. Jolly Ranchers, those kind of things, no, pass. Never been a fan. I don't even know what a strawberry bonbon is, but it did not look appetizing based on what Will was showing. He was not even paying attention right now. We've lost him. Okay, I'm going to...
No, I'm listening to you talk about your candy choices.
What did I say then? You look like
I
you were
definitely-
completely tuned out.
Hard
Okay,
candies
fair
you're not a fan of.
So what's your least
Yeah.
favorite then?
I mean-
You already established your favorite.
I mean, it's kind of hard not to like any kind of candy.
The
but
answer
there's
to Will
certainly,
is none.
Lemon Starbursts. Those aren't
That's very
good,
specific,
right?
like
Lemon
a flavor of
Starburst
Starburst. Yeah, lemon. They're very sour. I'll give you that.
Wait, are you guys a Twizzler people,
yeah, I mean,
or are you guys Red Vines people?
I don't know what a red vine is.
Neither.
Red Vine?
Like neither of those are.
Red Vine is
are
also
okay,
like
right?
another type of licorice. Usually it's like one side or the other. Usually like Twizzlers are usually like Red Vines. And I
That's
was
another
just
candy
wondering.
I generally won't choose willingly. If there's nothing else there, I don't hate it. I'll eat it. But no, chocolate. Just give me chocolate all day.
Just give me chocolate.
Actually, my son's got a whole bunch of Halloween. I'm gonna have a whole bunch of chocolate right after
Parent
this.
tax.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. This is way too much for you, son. I mean, literally, kid got a giant bucket. We live in a neighborhood that's all military families, so it's just nothing but kids. So everybody gives out candy. Kids. So he stocked up on that candy, and I'm gonna have way too much of it. Tommy, a very important question. Are you feeling cleansed? Because I know you're a little.
I am. I'm feeling pretty good.
Okay.
I have a little bit more insight on candy. I feel like I have to give them another run. I just haven't really had candy much, but you guys are inspiring me to maybe try a little bit more.
If you like.
We're not inspiring you to do shit, bro. We're inspiring you to look down on our Western lives through your high and mighty Eastern. I don't have a sweet tooth. I'm Tommy, and I don't fall to the vices of mortal men.
You guys, did Anthony just do a drop of my own voice? Because that was spot on.
It was
that's
very good.
kind of eerie.
Almost
actually.
as good as I didn't say this, but the episode when I did not do the flavor of the week and Tommy started off doing my voice, I thought I was listening to myself. I'm like, wow, I didn't realize I was doing this episode. All right, so I'm cleansed.
Can we agree though, before we get cleansed? Can we agree that strawberry bonbons are underrated?
I'm honestly not sure I've had a strawberry bonbon. And you and Anthony
It's
just
the
are
Are
It's-
those the ones that come
see?
in like a strawberry wrapping? Yo, those
Yes!
things are
Isn't
straight
that hard
fire.
candy?
They have like that. They have that like chewy liquid thing in the middle, or whatever that thing is.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
those
hard
things are
candy though.
phenomenal.
Yeah, I'll pass on those. I don't think I've had one, but if I see hard candy like Jolly Ranchers, I'm like
Dude, it's
no.
not even that hard though. It's like it's mystical. It doesn't make sense.
All right, if my son has any in his giant stash of Halloween candy, you're muted. Did you mute yourself or did Anthony mute you? Okay,
Rogue
great.
here.
We lost Will, and you know what? That's good. Will can't make any of his snide comments. Tommy and I can just roll the show, but we still
must
we
go
see
on.
Will, so he's still there.
What about now?
Eh,
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
there
we
you
can
go.
hear you now.
He's back.
I was saying, a lot like Anthony, a strawberry bonbon has a hard outer shell, but just one little crunch and you get to the soft underneath. That's just, it just welcomes you with its delicious sweetness.
Now I think we're definitely cleansed. I think that is where we end this segment. Let's go ahead and talk
Aren't you
about.
glad I got unmuted?
I like that you went on this whole speech. I should have let you keep going without telling you were muted and see how long you would have gone. So our flavor of the week topic, as we are going to do, and we could change it back. I don't know. We're still kind of testing it, but we're going to make our picks for week 9. First, we're going to go over our pick standings, and then there is a change that we're going to make
Ryan,
starting
are you
next
sure you
week.
want to do that?
I have no choice. But you know what? As I mentioned, Tommy, I'm calling an audible. I'm making a change next week, so it's okay. This is going to be the last time I take this medicine, hopefully. So, picks from last week. I'll do mine last. Tommy, 8-7.
Yeah.
Will, in his absence, and including his incorrect pick of the Packers because he picked it a day late, also 8-7. Me, 5-10.
Oh my goodness.
I've never
Dude.
Not good at football.
Yeah, apparently not. And quick, this will be the last time I read these particular standings, and I'll explain why in a minute. Tommy, 86-36 for the year. Will, 79-43. Me, 72-40.
Tommy has a clean lead, I'd say.
So I guess I'll read them one more time because we're going to make our picks this week. And then and after week 9, it'll be at the halfway mark, and we're going to change it up. We're going to reset. But here's how we're going to do it. So starting next week on the flavor of the week, we're going to start having guests. We're going to start with, if you've been listening to the show, we used to have guests every week during the off season. I decided, you know what? We're doing these flavor of the week with picks anyway. Let's have a guest on, have them pick the games as well, and then track the guest standings each week. Can we do better than these NFL guests? And our first guest next week, hopefully he doesn't cancel on me, Ari Mayrov from PFF.
We pulling the big dogs already, eh?
Ari
Look at our
Mayroff from
clout.
PFF is going to come on the show. He's going to do some picks with us. But that's what we're going to do. So starting next week, we get to reset.
Wait.
We're all back at 0-0. Yay!
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I had such a big
Yes.
lead.
Tommy, I agree. There should be a prize for you. You deserve. We'll think of something. You have earned, but we want to reset.
There's no prize for Tommy. There's a punishment for you for losing.
Okay, fine. All right. Well then, think
I
of that
subscribe
too.
to this ideology.
Okay. You know what? You have until next week. You can think of it, and then we'll announce it on the show next week with Ari on.
I feel like you should read a sad Dolphins fan poem on air.
Oh, we could do better than that. That's plagiarizing from our old idea. I have bigger ideas.
Okay, let's hit it. What is it?
Oh, no.
Save it. Don't tell me
This will
now.
be reserved for our group chat. Don't worry.
Okay, great. We got a week to come up with that. But so clearly, I can't make up the difference. So I will finish in last place. Will will finish in second. Tommy will finish in first. I guess technically Will still has a chance if Tommy just completely misses all the picks this week. But yeah, so I thought we'd bring on guests each week for the flavor of the week. We would have them make their picks, and then we would track our guest picks, our guest NFL. We're going to have NFL reporters, NFL podcasters, people from PFF. Ty Dunn is our next guest 2 weeks from now from Go Long. We'll try to get Jim Monis, former director of player personnel for the Bills. We're going to have some big names on here. They're going to make the picks, and we're going to compare ourselves to them because clearly I can't compete with Tommy. So let's see if some NFL people can compete with him. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into Week 9. Thursday Night Football, New York Jets at Indianapolis Colts. Reminder that I pulled these from PFF's site, their betting site. They pull the lines on Monday. So this line is probably different by the time you're listening. Keep that in mind. The line when I pulled this on Monday was 10.5 in favor of Indianapolis at home with an over-under of 46.5. As we have been doing, Tommy, you will pick first, followed by Will, followed by me, based on the standings.
Yeah, for me, this one is clear cut. I know the urban myth of Mike Waite has been born, but I feel like Indianapolis is going to be a little bit too much. Even though Wentz might be making Wentz-like plays, and I don't mean that in a good way, I still feel like they find a way to hang on. It's going to be Indianapolis.
The Jets will have to go back from whence they came.
Oh!
How long did it take you to
wasn't
come
that
up with
good.
that one?
Just
Yeah,
right now, because it wasn't that good.
Tommy and I liked it.
Oh,
Yeah, there you
look
go.
at that.
Yeah, I'm picking the
Even-
Colts, by the way.
Even got a round of applause. I am also going to be picking Indy for betting purposes. If you're listening to this for that reason, I would probably pick the Jets to cover. I don't know that Indy is going to hit that 10.5. And once again, the line I imagine will probably be lower than that based on how the Jets played against Cincinnati by the time this airs on Thursday. Sunday games, Atlanta Falcons at New Orleans Saints.
Why are we even talking about this?
What do you mean? We don't have to talk about it. We can just make picks, but I have to announce the game.
No, you don't.
Will you
It's
let
the
me do my
Saints.
job? Let me do my job.
No, it's the Saints.
Okay.
Yeah, I really wanted to pick the Falcons. Maybe they find a way to bounce back here and there. But after seeing what the Saints did to Tampa Bay, it's really hard to pick against them, regardless of who their quarterback is going to be.
So the game we're talking about is the Saints versus the Falcons, and obviously the Saints are going to win. Brian, who are you going to pick?
Agreed. The Saints. I didn't get to say the spread or the over/under. You just completely
Nobody cares.
ruined all my thunder. Fine.
Okay,
New
say
England
it.
Patriots.
No,
Oh,
you
sorry.
gotta say
You
it now.
got to say what? I said Saints.
No, but you got to say the spread.
Oh, fine.
Will has
5.5.
officially gone rogue.
43.5. This is an Alvin Kamara game. I picked him as my higher in DFS, 100%. Denver Broncos, moving on at Dallas. I almost said Atlanta Cowboys. This is what Will does to me. He just gets in my head. Dallas Cowboys are favored by 8. For some reason, I don't have an over-under here. Tommy, you're up first.
It's easy for me, just kind of similar. Like the last one, Will was like, this is a no-brainer. This one also is going to be pretty easy, unfortunately, and it still looks like it's going to be Cowboys reigning supreme for at least another week.
Great analysis from Will. Yeah, picking the Dallas Cowboys. I'm also picking Dallas. I think they could beat this spread easily. I just feel Dak's coming back. They won with Cooper Rush against the Vikings, beating the Broncos without Von Miller. Should be a piece of cake. New England Patriots travel to the Carolina Panthers. Patriots favored by 2.5. Over under of 43.5. Low scoring game here. Tommy.
I feel like I haven't been picking anything too crazy or fun, just kind of going with the favorite team, but with the way that New England's defense has been playing, they just shut down Herbie. Yeah, I think it's going to have to be New England.
Hashtag analysis. I am also going to go with the Patriots here. I mentioned them as my DFS higher of defense. Bill Belichick versus Sam Darnold. Enough said. Also would pick them to cover that spread if it stays at 2.5. Minnesota Vikings traveling to the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens at this point favored by 5.5 at home. Mr. U.
I am not going to be picking against Lamar. This team is a team I planted my flag even after all the crazy injuries. And I really feel like, Lamar is going to have to do Lamar things even with the Vikings not looking too impressive. But yeah, going to have to go with Baltimore again.
Yeah, it would take what is the spread now? It's 49.5 over-under. Not the spread, the over-under.
Yeah, you're very into this over here. You think this is going to be like a 50 to 45 game.
But I'm going to take the Ravens, by the way.
Okay, I'm also taking Baltimore at home here. Still a believer in Minnesota to a degree, but I just think the Ravens are by far the better team on both sides of the ball. I think they win easily at home. But yeah, I do think it could be a sneaky competitive game. Not sure I would bet the Ravens over here or to cover the spread. AFC North matchup, Cleveland Browns traveling to the Cincinnati Bengals. Both teams coming off losses. Bengals coming off that loss to the New York Jets. Bengals are currently favored by 2.5, at least as of this recording, with an over-under of 46.
Yeah, for me, I feel like for you, it's kind of a clash of two worlds. I know you've been on the Brownies bandwagon for a little bit, and we are...
This might have been the toughest one I had to pick.
Yeah, and we've been a big fan of the Bengals, and I am not going to be choosing against Mr. Burrow quite yet. I think Cincinnati is going to hopefully bounce back from that embarrassing display when they played New York, so I will go with Cincinnati and Mr. Burrow.
I am actually going to differ here. And this was very much a coin
Will and
flip.
I are on the same side, so that means we definitely... That means
you're going to win.
Smashing.
That means the Browns are going to lose. But you know what? There's no pressure on me because I'm guaranteed to come in last place and we're restarting next week. But I do. I got it. I still feel like the Browns are the more complete team. Their DVO ratings are actually better. I did actually go into research this week because clearly, Tommy, me just going off my gut last week failed miserably.
That was terrible.
So I did a little bit more research. I do think it could easily go either way, so I'm going to go with Cleveland on the road here to get a bounce-back win. Buffalo Bills at Jacksonville Jaguars. I think the biggest question here is whether they will cover the spread. Bills have actually been good about covering spreads this week. They covered against Miami, even though it was 14. Current spread, according to this, is 14 points with an over/under of 49. Make the pick official. We all know nobody's picking the Jags here.
The Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills easily.
He won't even say the name. He's just so lazy, just giving us fine. Buffalo Bills easily, and I would say easily to cover the spread as well, even if that spread goes up a little bit. Houston Texans at Miami Dolphins. Dolphins favored by 7 at home. That's nice to see. Not sure they've earned that, but I guess they are playing the Texans. Tommy.
Yeah, I'm definitely on the Miami side. I feel like they've been so close, like how you were saying, obviously, like everyone else. Oh, Detroit's so close to win. They're so close to win. I was never a believer in them, unfortunately. Sorry, Anthony. But when it comes to Miami, it does look somewhat close to me. And so I feel like playing against Houston, too, is going to get a little bit of a confidence booster here.
I don't know, man.
He's wavering. You gonna get crazy?
No. It's the Dolphins. However, I would not be surprised if Houston wins. Would not be surprised.
I'm not sure I can watch a single Dolphin game if they end up losing this game to the Texans.
I feel like that's in the realm possibility of them losing. Sorry.
Of course, it's within the... I'm not saying it's not possible. We lost to the Jaguars. Clearly, we can lose to the Texans. But I'm going to pick Miami. I feel like if we can't beat the Texans... I mean, if I can't pick... This is probably the last time I can pick Miami this year in our game pick. So I might as well take advantage of it. Picking the Dolphins at home would by no means pick them to cover that spread, though, even against the Texans. Last early game on Sunday, Las Vegas Raiders at the New York Giants. Raiders favored by 2.5, over under 47.5.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Las Vegas over here. Derek Carr's been playing great. If anything, I feel like he is trying to prove that he can be not just the face of the franchise, but one of the main leaders overall for the entire organization. Now, them, with the whole Gruden situation hopefully behind them. So, got to go with the Raiders, and the fact that the Giants are just booty cheeks kind of helps me with this decision as well.
We're waiting with bated breath for your
I don't know, man.
in-depth analysis.
It's a tough game. Probably
make it spicy. Pick something.
I'm gonna go Giants, bro.
There we go.
Giants.
I respect it.
Come on, Anthony, throw a sound up for
Tony.
Will
Is
taking
probably gonna,
stand.
Be a little more healthy. I mean, the Giants suck. They're really bad. However,
yeah, they almost beat the Chiefs, but that's
they're down Ruggs now. They've got just a different kind of.
That was their biggest mistake, dude. Just like how they really shouldn't have ever put Brady in due to injury. Now they're forcing Hunter Renfrow to get even more of a play. The league is screwed. Jerry Rice right now is sitting in a dark room, terrified, knowing that the world will see Hunter Renfrow for what he really is.
What? What does Jerry Rice have to do with anything?
Because of all the records. They're not safe, dude. Hunter Renfrow is about to come in and just completely take all the records from Jerry Rice. It's going to be great.
Good for Hunter Renfrow. Will, good for you for picking the Giants. I am also going to stick with Tommy here and go with Las Vegas. Even without Henry Ruggs, the Raiders' offense just has so many weapons. Darren Waller should be back healthy after he missed a couple weeks ago. They just came off their bye. I'm not confident in the Giants on either side of the ball. The Raiders have one of the best pass rushes in the NFL so far against a bad Giants offensive line and making Danny Duds make mistakes. So I'm going with the Raiders and to cover if the spread stays at 2.5. Afternoon games, Los Angeles Chargers traveling to Tommy's Philadelphia Eagles. We've got Air Bear versus Mr. Jalen Hurts. Tommy, starting with you on this one. You going to stick with your heart?
No, I will not. I am going with Justin Herbert because you'd have to feel that he has been struggling the past couple of games. Everyone says get right game or whatever have you, but it looks like if Justin Herbert's getting frustrated with his own lack of results of his playing, it looks like hopefully he should be able to bounce back in Philadelphia. So I am surprised that they're only favored by like 3, but I'm definitely taking the Chargers in this one.
Agree.
I'm taking the Chargers, but it was not that easy of a pick for me.
Oh, you're just trying to butter me up.
Well, I just felt like this is a team that if they stick to the script that they had against Detroit, the Chargers are very susceptible to the run. If they can stick to a ground and pound game and keep the ball out of Air Bear's hands, out of Herbert's hands, then that could be a recipe. That's basically what New England did. But the thing is, I don't necessarily trust. I don't trust Sirianni to do that. I don't trust Sirianni to do that. And when it came down to it, who's the better quarterback? Herbert. Who's the better coach? Brandon Staley. So I'm going with the Chargers. Green Bay Packers at Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs, at least according to this, and this could certainly change after their Monday night performance.
1 point right now.
It's down to 1. Okay, so Chiefs currently favored by 1. Over under, I have it 55.5. Will, is that still the same? Do you have it up? All right, well, it's probably in that range, mid-50s. Oh, I would almost want to go over here. I think this is just a game that could turn into a shootout. But, Tommy, who do you like?
This, for me personally, is definitely the hardest game to decide. Maybe for everyone else, it's not that difficult. But I am going to have to pick Green Bay Packers. It doesn't feel good to pick against Mahomes, but Green Bay Packer has all the momentum, whereas Kansas City, everything is fleeting. So I'm almost convincing myself to pick Kansas City because their backs are against the wall. But I can't pick against Aaron Rodgers, especially what he was able to do against Arizona. So, yep, lock it up for me, Green Bay Packers.
I should have went first because I'm just gonna sound like I'm agreeing with Tommy, but I could show you my betting slip. I picked Green Bay.
You told us before, I don't remember if it was on camera or not, that you were definitely feeling Green Bay for this one. I'm actually going to go Chiefs.
Lock it up. We're right.
We're locking it up. Yeah, congratulations. Your pick is going to be correct. I'm not been a fan. Aaron Rodgers is great, of course, but this Packers offense, the whole team has looked good but not great. They don't look like a 7-1 team. And yes, the Chiefs have looked dreadful at times, but I just feel like this is a game where backs truly against the wall. Couldn't even come out against the Giants. This is a gut feeling. There's not a lot of data to go here. But yeah, I'm going to pick the Chiefs at home. And then the last afternoon game, a game that, like I said, I should be going to. And for this one, I will allow a caveat. Arizona Cardinals traveling to the San Francisco 49ers. So I should be hopefully watching this game with my son, who's very excited, at Levi Stadium. The Cardinals favored by 2.5. Kyler Murray day-to-day after injuring his foot at the end of that Thursday night game against the Packers. Kingsbury wouldn't say for sure that he will be starting. If he doesn't, Colt McCoy is the backup, and they're apparently prepping McCoy just in case. So I will allow a caveat here because this team is night and day different from Kyler Murray to Colt McCoy. So Tommy, with that in mind, who are you picking?
I think I am going to exercise that caveat. I feel like if Kyler Murray plays, I have Arizona, but if he doesn't play, I gotta make that pivot over to San Fran. I wish I could confidently say, "Oh, it doesn't matter. It's going to be Arizona either way."
You're not allowed to do that though. Not on this show.
Oh,
I just said
he said we're allowed
he's not
to,
listening.
so I'm going to take it.
He's clearly not listening to me. Nope. I just said we're giving a caveat for this game.
No,
you don't get to tell me no. I'm the main host. I'm in charge. No. I pay your salary.
My picks are perfect on the year then, because they should all be caveats.
All right, fine. To please Will, I will double down right now, and I am going to go. I'm going to go San Francisco. I'll go San Francisco then. My gut says even if Kyler Murray does somehow play, if it is as bad as I might think it could be, I feel like the San Francisco should hopefully be able to take care of a limping Kyler Murray, because we all saw how Kyler Murray played last year when he was a little banged up and he was like a completely different quarterback. And so I know that probably isn't the best reason, but if I don't have that pivot option, then I got to go with San Francisco then.
Yeah, I'm going to do that too. I'm going to go San Francisco.
Will's ready to go to sleep. We got to hurry up and get it so he can go to bed. You know what? I was ready to pick Arizona, but Tommy, you changed my mind. I'm going to go with San Francisco for that, because even if Murray's in, he's not going to be 100%. He was such a different quarterback last year after he got injured. That's when the Cardinals just started plummeting. So whether he's in or whether he's not, and because apparently Will doesn't want us to have a caveat, just because somebody picked the Packers a day after the game and wants us to give him credit for it. So I will also go, and I'll be I live in the Bay Area. I'm going to the San Francisco game. We'll cheer for San Francisco to win, so I will also pick the 49ers. Sunday Night Football, Tennessee Titans, surely about to finally come off their high, traveling to SoFi Stadium to play the Los Angeles Rams. Rams, as of the time I did this, are favored by 6.5, with an over-under of 53.5. Tommy, how you feel? Are you feeling the Rams here?
Yeah, I'll make this one short for the sake of Will. It's got to be the Rams easily, especially with the unfortunate news that have come out about King Henry.
Yep.
That's no additional analysis. Will is spending more time yawning than giving thoughts on these games. Tennessee. I would have picked the Rams even with King Henry, but with him out, wow, it's just and the addition of Von Miller. I believe he'll be ready. He already passed his physical. I think he'll be activated for the game. Definitely going to pick the Rams to win at home. And finally, Monday Night Football. Chalk this up to another one of these primetime games that I really don't have much of a desire to see. The Chicago Bears traveling to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Matchup of two pretty dreadful offenses. Steelers favored by 6.5. Only 40.5 is the over-under here. Might be the lowest one of the season. Tommy.
Yeah, I've kind of been riding with Pittsburgh, weirdly enough, the past couple of weeks. And I feel like as much as I want to say Justin Fields is going to be able to pull something out of the hat, I just don't think so. I feel like he's great, but Pittsburgh defense has not been playing that well, but they've been playing a little bit better as of late. And I feel like if Nagy comes back and tries to Nagy things up, I just can't pick. It's Tomlin and a crappy Roethlisberger versus crappy Nagy versus hopefully a developing rookie quarterback. So for those reasons, I got to go with Pittsburgh.
Yep. I agree for a lot of what.
Oh, he's got more to say. Okay.
Reason to say, but moreover, I mean, if you just take the coaches battle, Mike Tomlin is probably one of the best coaches in the league, right? From all of what he's had to deal with and put together and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, mad respect for Mike Tomlin. Matt Nagy is probably the worst coach in the league. So you could just look at it from that way. But there's just too much momentum, I think, in Pittsburgh's favor.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. Steelers at home. I don't have any faith in the Chicago team, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And the strength of Pittsburgh is their defense. So I just don't see Chicago being able to put up any points to really keep up with them. Like we said, they scored 22 against San Francisco, and that was a big victory for them. They still lost by 11. So clearly think the Steelers are the better team here. Going to pick Pittsburgh as well. So those are our last picks with the current records. We'll do one last update next week, so we'll let everybody know just how bad my picks were over the first 9 weeks. You guys, by that time, can have come up with a punishment, and we can announce it on next week's Flavor of the Week. That is it, guys. We kept it nice, short, and sweet. This time next week, we will start to have guests on for this episode. We'll do guest picks. We'll have Ari Mayrov on from PFF to start it off. Any last words before we wrap it up for the night?
I feel like we should definitely continue just a streak only because I have this is the only thing I have, guys, because the DFS, I'm doing terrible in that. So at least I can hang my hat on this.
You almost won. You know how many McFadden's I have to complete against?
You still have such a points lead on me. You're
whole,
so good at this.
His whole genetic tree is competing against me on a weekly basis. This is the most annoying thing. I got Cole Beasley racking up 20 points on a week in, week out of nowhere. It's ridiculous.
All right, on that note, let's wrap it up. Thanks, as always, for listening. Please subscribe if you're listening for the first time. Leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. We are still batting 1,000. We are almost coming up on a year. By the way, I haven't mentioned this yet, but our first episode was published November, I believe it was 16th last year. So we are coming up on our 1-year anniversary.
We have to have a special episode. That'd be like a celebratory episode. That'd be crazy.
Agreed. Yeah, so it's exactly 2 weeks.
So it was right around this time, about a year ago, Brian was like, hey, man, I want to do a podcast about Donald Trump and football. And I was like, I don't want to do that. And he's like, please, I really want to do a podcast. And I'm like, no.
Well, no, I just had you be a guest.
And then, guest. The first week, he's like, look, nobody wants to do this. Will you please do this show with me?
I didn't say nobody wants to do this.
All right, fine. And I was like, but I don't want to commit on a week-to-week basis. And he's like, you don't have to. And here we are, a year later.
Here we are, a year later. Will falling asleep, but still coming on the show. Well, Will, I appreciate you. I'm glad we started it. Tommy, we'll do something special in 2 weeks to celebrate that 1-year anniversary of the Pigskin Party podcast. Thanks as always. Thanks for staying with us for our live. We will go live every week now with our main NFL episode, and we will do the Flavor of the Week recorded. Thanks again, and we'll see you next week on the PPP. Stay tuned for Tommy's Fantasy Island dropping on
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Pigskin Party podcast. If you're enjoying the show, please feel free to rate, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. We really appreciate that effort. We'll catch you in the next Pigskin Party.